Hey, I'm Filippa and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with a new guitar show number 8, and today pretty much all the chapters will be about the process of writing your own songs to get it on the streaming sites. So without further ado, let's get started with the news. So I have 2 news for you today. The first one is of course that I have wrote my own song. So if you have not listened to it yet, it's named My Smile Is Fake. And it is uploaded here on YouTube, but you can also stream it on Spotify, iTunes Music, Google Play, Amazon Music, etc. So go listen to it, that will make me really happy. Thing number 2 is that you can see me play an AC/DC cover together with some teenagers from Romania and Indonesia. I will link it down in the description box. I'm playing the bass in the cover, so go check it out if you want to. So let's jump right into the next chapter. So now to what's on the music stand. The whole theme of the show today is the process of writing a song, to record the song, to publish the song. So I'm gonna take you through the whole process. This was first time I was ever recording a song with all the instruments, and it was a pretty long process. It took me 3 days to figure it out, to record, and to publish it. So this can maybe help you save some time so you don't have to spend 3 days on figuring it all out. So let's get started. So now to the chapter Show Me the Gear. But before we start, my mom just came home with a package from the post office, and it is from Orange. Orange wanted to send me a pedal or 2, I think it's 2, but I'm not sure, that I could try in a video, so I'm gonna make a demo here another day tomorrow, I think. But I don't know what's inside, but there's a sticker here which says Orange pedals fur coat fuzz pedal. So maybe there's a fuzz pedal inside. Let's see. So let's open it. By the way, don't mind my paints, they are kind of an experiment. So let's open. See what we got. Okay, got one pedal, and it's a fur coat fuzz pedal. Got this really cool box. Okay. Whoa. Looks amazing. Oops. Okay. So here it is. It got a really cool design. And I'm looking so much forward to try this. So let's start with the actual chapter. So the first thing I did was to find out which guitar I would like to use for the song. So I was trying all my guitar in the bridge pickup to get some nasty, gritty distortion. And if they had coil split, I was trying both just to find out which sound I liked the most. And I ended up with my Danelectro 59X and my Yamaha Ripstar for the double track and the solo guitar. So let's hear them. So first I'm gonna play my Danelectro guitar, and I choose this guitar for the rhythm part. And this this guitar got coil split, but in the song I choose to use the humbucker position because I like that sound the most. Okay, so one of the reasons that I choose this guitar for the rhythm part is that it is the lightest guitar, so it is easier for me to stand up with while I'm singing. And another reason is that it got a kind of an acoustic sound, which I really like, of course only when it's clean. So let's try the riff star. So now I'm gonna play my riff star, and I'm using this for the double track and for the guitar solo. Okay, and this guitar got coil split as well, but I'm still using the humbucker position. So the next thing I did was to find out which BPM my song was in. And I was using my metronome in my drum machine, but you can use any metronome you have. The reason that I used this one was because my headphones are paired with it. So I just used the metronome to find out which BPM my song was in. I was using, there's some different ones, and I was using the sticks because I like the sound of them the most. But it was a pretty long process to find out which BPM my song was in, because I thought that I should find one BPM for the whole entire song, but my verse and my intro is in 130 BPM and my chorus is in 160 BPM. So I asked on Facebook what to do, and I find out that it can be a good thing with a tempo shift, and it often gives some dynamic to the song. So I made a tempo track in Logic on my dad's computer, and it is going from 130 BPM to 160 BPM, back to 130 BPM, and then up to 160 BPM again. Okay. So afterwards I could record my then electric guitar with the vocals, and after that I could record the rest of the instruments. So some people have asked me which order I recorded the instruments in. So first I made a click track in Logic, then I recorded my then electric guitar with vocals, then I recorded the drums and then the bass, and then I double tracked the guitar parts, and finally I made the solo. So now to tones and riffs. Some people have asked me which effect I'm using in the start of my song, and the aim is actually totally clean. The reason that it got this cover sound is that I have double checked the guitars, and else I'm only using an effect in the solo. I'm using some tape delay from my HX effect pedal. Else I'm just using the clean and the dirt channel from my dad's orange Rocker 50 MK3. So now I have recorded all the parts, you can see them right here. And after you have recorded all your parts, you have to mix them. So mixing is a pretty important part because it is here you adjust all the levels. So your drums aren't higher than the vocal and you have to hear all the instruments. And that's basically what you do in the mixing part. And after mixing comes mastering. Mastering is kinda complicated, but you are polishing your song and you make sure that the general tone of the song sounds nice, full, fat, etc. But it's quite complicated. This is what a sound engineer is normally doing. But there is some online tools which can do it for you. I'm using one. I call it Landauer, but it is spelled Landr. And Landauer is really cool because it can mastering your song, but it can also publishing your song. Let me explain that to you. So first you choose master a track. Then you choose which song to upload. And then Landauer starts the mastering process where it is modeling your song. After that you can choose between the levels. You can choose low, medium and high. And then your song is mastered and you can download it and use it for your video. So it is actually really easy to publish a song. You just have to choose releases. Then you have to choose new release. Then you have to upload your track. Then fill the form. And when that is done, Landauer will upload your song on all the streaming sites such as iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Play, and a lot of different ones. So it is actually really easy, and you can see how many streams you have, how many downloads you have, and where they are from in the world. And Landauer will collect the money for you as well, so you can see it all in the stats. So it's super easy to publish your song. So now to my Q&A. The first question is from Michele Di Lucia, and the question is, could you give a listen to Soundgarden? So I have listened to 2 of their songs now, and I actually really like it. You can clearly hear that it is the 90s grunge. It reminds me a lot of Nirvana, and I will listen to them in the future. So now to the next question. It is from Chris Garton, and it is pretty long. So he writes, awesome job on this video, Filippa. I have a question for one of your question and answer segments. I always wanted to own a sector bass guitar ever since I started playing bass for 7 years and being inspired by Avenged Sevenfold. I currently own an ESP and a Yamaha bass. Should I keep hoping I own a sector, or if not, what brands will you recommend for a bass? So I have been playing bass since January, so I have not tried a lot. I tried a few on Guitar University, but else I have my own. It's a Yamaha BB bass. It's from the 200 series, but there is also the 400 series, 700, 1000, 2000 and artist. But the BB series from Yamaha, I can totally recommend. It is a great bass, but else I cannot recommend anything because I have not tried a lot of basses. Okay, next question is from Gabe Sandoval. Hey again, Gabe. And he writes, I love this show. Filippa, what do you enjoy doing other than playing guitar and music? So thank you for loving my show. I'm happy that you do that. And else than playing music and guitar, I like to do other creative things. Music is creative too, I think, but I like to draw, to paint, craft, things like that. And I like to do karate. I got the purple belt. I'm doing Shotokan karate, so I'm halfway to black now. And I have not done it for some time because I sprained my ankle 2 times in a row, which is quite stupid. But I'm gonna start after the summer break. And then I like to be together with my friends, and I like to play Sims 4 and Fortnite, and a lot of other things as well. Next question is from Fritz van Santen, and the question is, there was a question about the wristband. Next time. So I got a lot of questions about these, and these are my wrist grips. And the reason that I'm using these is sometimes when I'm playing for a longer period where I'm practicing a song where I can get my hand in some weird position like this, no, etc. I can get tendonitis, and that means that I cannot play for some time. I remember some time ago I was playing Neon by John Mayer and Snow Hey Oh by Red Hot Chili Peppers at the same time, and it broke my hand totally, so I couldn't play for a bit of time. I made a schedule, so I was playing for 7.5 minute break and 7.5 minute break, and I was doing that the whole entire day, and that was pretty annoying. But now I got these, so now I can practice for a longer period again without any problems. So I'm good now. Okay, the next question is from Weird Guy. And he writes, truly inspiring. Just for fun, you should compose a solo on ukulele or guitar for some songs that don't have one. This song cries out for it, in my opinion. I wonder if you have tried live looping. So this comment is from my radioactive cover, by the way. And yeah, it is actually a really fun idea with making solos for a song which does not have one. And I would like to do that one day. And live looping, I tried a looper on Thomas Gearhead University, and it was actually a really fun looper. It was from Ortega, and you could make the drums with your feet and loop at the same time, so you could make a whole track with it. So I actually have one of those on the way, and I'm looking so much forward to receive it. But I also have a looper in my Line 6 HX Effects pedal, but I'm not looping a lot. Okay. Next question is from Jack McBowell, and he writes, yay, Filippa is back. So glad you had a lot of fun on vacation. Can't wait for the next excitement. May I humbly suggest November Rain. Slash's epic solo will be awesome to hear with the Filippa spin. Okay, let me see if I can still remember the notes. So I'm just gonna take a guitar unplugged. I have one over here. So if I can remember the notes, I'm gonna make a solo cover. And if you don't get a solo cover, then it's because I can't. Okay, let's see. Okay, no cover today, I guess. But I promise you that I will make one later. Okay, now to the next question. It is from Samuel Augie, and he writes, hey Filippa, I was wondering what kind of microphone that is. So I'm using 3 microphones, and it is always the same microphones, and they are all from Sennheiser. And for my guitar amp, I'm using the Sennheiser E906. For my vocal, I'm using the Sennheiser E935. And for my talking and for my acoustic instruments, I'm using the MKE600. Okay. And I can totally recommend them all. They are all great microphones. So now to the next question. So next question is from Celia Rustem Salim. She's 11 years old and she lives in Denmark, so go check her channel out. She's making guitar covers as me. And she writes, can you tell us how you grew your channel? Maybe some tips on how to grow your channel. So I have 4 tips for you. Tip number 1 is not a tip I'm following myself, but I just met a lot of YouTubers recently, and they all said that you have to be consistent, which means that you pick 1 or 2 or 3 days every week, for example, Wednesday. And then you are uploading every Wednesday, and you have to pick a time too. So it could be 5 p.m. every Wednesday, and then you have to upload there. I'm not that consistent. So if you're watching one of my videos, then I have probably just recorded it. But my plan is to be more consistent in the future. So that was tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to get a theme. That is really important, so your channel is not just about everything. For example, my channel is about playing music. It is important because if you get a subscriber because you make guitar covers, then you can not just make food videos the next day, because then they will probably unsubscribe. So if you want to do food videos and guitar videos, then you probably have to make 2 channels. So get a theme is really important too. And tip number 3 is to get good sound. I have heard, according to science, that it is more important that the sound is good than the video is good. So if you got a really good camera but your sound is really bad, then people will leave immediately. But if your microphone is good but your video is not the best, then people will stay. So my tip is to get a good microphone before a good camera. And then tip number 4 is to always do your best when you're making videos, because it is really important that people are entertained while they are watching your videos, because else they will not subscribe or come back. So my tips are to be consistent, get a theme, have good sound, and always do your best. So I hope my tips was useful, and if you have more questions about it, because to grow a YouTube channel is a big project, and there's a lot of things to talk about as well. So if you have more questions about it, then just write them down in the comments, and then I will include them in a separate video. And the last questions from today's Q&A is from Blake's Guitar Covers 26, and he writes, can you please do another rig rundown? And I will do a rig rundown of 2018 when I have received the last things. I still have some things on the way from CDU 18, and when I have received them, which will be in 1 or 2 months, then I will do a rig rundown. So that was all for my Q&A. So before we get started with Channel of the Week, I just want to say sorry, because in my last show, Channel of the Week was Sean Pierce Johnson. But of any weird reason, I was saying John Pierce Johnson. So I just want to apologize, and the channel of my last guitar show was Sean Pierce Johnson, but nobody noticed, so maybe I should just shut up. Okay, now to Channel of the Week. So this week's channel is Alicia777. So she's 18 years old and she's from Canada. At the moment she's on 66 subscribers, I think. So let's see if we can get her up on the 100 subscribers, because they are so hard to get. So go in and check her out. She's playing all kinds of music, from rock to classical music. And subscribe to her. Let's boost her channel up to 100 subscribers. And that's all for Channel of the Week. So that was all for show number 8. I really hope you enjoyed and find my tips useful. And here in the end of the video, I have a clip from the Guitar Geek's channel where he's talking together with Brian from 60 Cycle Hum and Nita Strauss, you know, the super shredder woman. And they're talking about me, and it made me so happy to see because they were really kind. So I will love to use it as an outro on this video. So don't forget to leave a question in the comments section down below for my next Q&A, and don't forget to hear my song. And then I really hope I see you all next time. Bye!
But to kind of go in that female direction for a moment, you met Filippa Q.
Yes,
And
she's amazing.
She kind of schooled you, or schooled you and Jen.
Yeah, we had a really great. So the video that we did was Jen and I taught her some tricks. We taught her some whammy bar tricks, and then we taught her some tapping, which are 2 things she had never done before. And so Filippa was playing the Jiva, and I was playing a gem. Jen was playing her gem, and we just sat in there and jammed. It was cool for Jen and I, as 2 working, professional guitar players in our, as adults, to jam with a 13-year-old, who could completely keep up, and not only keep up, she was learning so fast.
Mm-hmm.
Jen starts her off with the Satriani tapping bit. I was like, well, what are you doing to this kid? Like, like one of these. I'm like, you're showing her a 4-finger tapping exercise first?
Yeah.
And Filippa goes, huh, okay, I was like, you are amazing. Like, her mind is like a sponge, and I was like, man, that would have taken me a long time, I feel like, to get that down. But she nailed it. She nailed it right away.
I've been feeling a little bad for her at this thing, just because, like, I remember what it was like to be that age, and just to, like, I can't imagine being in a position where, like, all these, like, weird adults are coming up to you, like, all day long.
Do something!
Like, you're so good! Oh my gosh, you're so good! Like, I can't imagine what that would have been like.
Oh, I would have loved it.
So awkward and like,
She's so confident, though, for that age. Like, I didn't even start playing till I was her age. Like, I didn't even pick up a guitar for the first time until 13. And the fact that she's, like, at the end, I said, hey, just give me some shredding. I wanted to put it on my Instagram, and I posted a video, and people love it, like, and she just goes, whammy, and just, like, started playing Muse and all this stuff, and
She's got the emotion, not just the schooled notes.
Yeah, absolutely, she does, and she has, like, real technique and real feeling in her playing. And even me, I'm 31 years old, and if someone hands me a guitar and says play something, I go,
what do you mean?
Like what?
With this?
Anything in particular? Like, and I can get there, but, like, I told Filippa play something, and she just started playing something, and that is a skill that you cannot learn, and you just have to have.
And she respects the songs too. Like, she's playing the song. Like, I'm just like, it's just noodles and awful, and I'm like, if I'm playing fast, like, I'm gonna do as many as I can. Like,
me too.
And at that age, like,
I was tasteful.
Yeah, it's tasteful.
Yeah, it's really
incredible.
something.
Yeah, she's a musician. She's a real musician.